ended early. So if Michael has to send me his picks later, I don't know if the Rangers are on. I know the Knicks are on. So, he could do his whole little, well, the Nets will always be the little sister.
Oh, there he is. He's joining.
He's joining? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Hi, Michael. Who's on right now? The Rangers?
Knicks.
The Knicks. Dude, you're going to shit on Julius Randle the first bad game he has because you're a typical New York front runner.
Yeah, typical New York front runner.
I'm done with Garrett Cole. He's only been better than CC Sabathia ever was for you.
No.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
You gotta win the big game, man. That's it. You gotta win the big game.
See, Garrett Cole's first 2 seasons as a Yankee regular season were better than
expectations. You're a Mets fan. You have different expectations than Yankees fans.
But no, there's a different expectation here that I can actually evaluate your team. All you say is, go spend the most money on this guy because he's going to help us win. Yeah, you have the second highest payroll. Josh still says they don't spend enough. They don't got Dodgers money.
Sure they do.
No, they don't. They don't have Dodgers money. No one does. Dodgers have like 7 billionaires running the team. But hi, guys. Welcome to our Week 7 NFL Pick Show. First and foremost, since we were just talking about baseball, you guys are rooting for the Houston Astros, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I guess.
You have to. You have to. Like
if I had to choose, I would choose Boston, but I'd rather.
What?
What?
No, dude, no.
You would rather root for Boston than the Astros?
Yes.
Why?
No, man, bro.
I cannot stand Altuve, and he killed us.
Dude, fuck Altuve. Who cares about all that?
He's
the Red Sox.
It's the Red Sox.
Sox.
That's karma. That you're asking for karma by not ever. You have to root against the Red Sox under every single circumstance possible.
No,
that's bad Yankee fandom.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's the oldest rivalry in sports.
I don't care.
The most fierce. Because you don't like Altuve? Why? Because he won a deserving MVP over Aaron Judge?
No, because they cheat. Boston cheats too, and I hope the stadium collapses and both teams die.
And the Yankees cheat too, and the Blue Jays cheat, and the Royals cheat. They all cheat. It's baseball. You're the biggest A-Rod fan alive. He's the biggest cheater in the last 30 years.
Except for the Mets. They don't cheat.
No, if they are, they're really bad at it. So
no, I mean I hate both teams evenly. And
what would hurt more?
I never hated the Astros before the last few 5-6 years or whatever, but I really have a disdain for the Astros lately, and it's like picking between a shit and a turd sandwich or whatever that saying is.
If you take the turd,
yeah. And it's
the Astros to you are the turd. The Red Sox have been shit for you your whole life.
Yeah.
So you got to root for think about seeing the Astros win. You're like, oh, I'm annoyed. But how much would it hurt to the Red Sox win another World Series?
They're not, because the fucking Dodgers are going to come back and win everything again.
That's very, very possible. But wouldn't it hurt, Josh? It would hurt you to see the Red Sox win another World Series, which would mean they have what? It would be their 5th since 2004 or 4th since 2004?
I believe so, yeah.
It's a lose-lose.
No. Listen, a lose for the Yankees. If you're a Yankees fan, I say this as a Mets fan, it would pain me for the Red Sox to win another World Series. Pain me. You have to root for Houston strongly. That's a team that you should hate with every. What team do you hate the most in sports that isn't, that's a real sport, not hockey? Boston. I've known you long enough to know how much you hate the Red Sox.
I fucking hate every team in Boston. Every fucking
That's
team.
What I mean.
I hate the Patriots. I hate Boston. Bruins.
You just hate the city.
Yeah, I just hate everybody from there. I hope that North Korea sends a nuke that flutters out and just destroys Boston alone.
Dude, they don't have a nuke that could reach Japan. How are they going to have a nuke that reaches Boston?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It breaks apart, and then only a little piece of it lands on Boston and just totally isolates it from the world.
Okay, but would you go to a game at Fenway?
No.
Really?
No, actually, I would.
Would you be an asshole, or would you just wait to see if someone's an asshole to you?
Oh, I just picture being my cousin from Boston.
I hate that commercial.
All in the crowd, every single guy's like, "You want to Sam Adams? Oh, that's great! You fucking suck my cock."
Would you drink the Sam Adams?
No, fuck Sam. Sam Adams tastes like gargled cum.
How do you know what that tastes like?
Because
does it smell like suck cock?
It tastes like sucked cock. Yeah.
Wait, does it taste? Wait. So are you saying that it tastes like a cock after it's been sucked?
It
Or
tastes
the
like
act-
it tastes like a 17 and orchid candle.
you s-
Just kidding.
shameless plug. All right, guys. So, Michael, last week, you had the best record amongst us. You went 11-3. Wait, no, that's not right. You went because that's not correct.
Fuck.
No, 11-3. Sorry, 11-3. Josh and I went 9-5. So I am still in first place at 61-35. Manfro, you're one game behind me at 60-34. Josh, you are three back of first place and two back of Michael at 58-36. So Josh, we're almost at the halfway point in the season. I'm gonna let you, being in last place, decide if you want to pick first, second, or last for all the games.
Let me go second.
Second, okay. All right, so the first game of the week, Thursday Night Football, is the Denver Broncos at the Cleveland Browns. The Broncos coming off a real crushing defeat to the now John Grudenless Las Vegas Raiders. The Browns coming off the loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Now we will not see Baker Mayfield this week. Baker Mayfield is out with a left shoulder injury. So Case Keenum revenge game against the Denver Broncos. The Browns, as of this morning, were 3.5-point favorites. I've not seen if that has shifted since Baker was downgraded to out. I would guess it's probably about a 1-point game, a 1-point favor for Cleveland. I'm going to stick with Cleveland in this, despite losing Baker. The Broncos look really, really bad. The 3-0 start seems like so long ago now when you see what they've done since then. We said when they were 3-0, their opponents were combined 0-9. The Browns, even with Case Keenum, are a better team. Their defense is still pretty good. I expect a big game from Myles Garrett. So give me the Browns, and whatever the spread is, they're going to cover it. Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns as well. They're, the heart and soul of that offense is their running attack. So I don't think it really matters so much.
Yeah, but
if
Kareem Hunt out, and we don't know about the status of Nick Chubb, so that's another
Sean
factor.
Penn.
Yeah.
I'm still going to take the Browns. I just think that they're a better coached team. We've seen how badly Vic Fangio can coach. So I think just against a better team with a better roster, even with some starters being out, I don't see the Broncos winning this game.
Okay. Michael?
I watched that Browns game. I watched like a lot of it, and Baker Mayfield was like crying at one point, like hurt, and like
he's really hurt.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on with him. I love me some Teddy Bridgewater. I think I have the Browns down marked right now. That might change before game time, but I'm going to go with the Broncos.
All right.
I'm going to X out the Browns because without Mayfield, I mean, Mayfield's good, but like something cracks. Like there's personality flaws about certain players, and I think that Baker Mayfield hasn't figured, like there's like a whiny bitchy aspect that Browns quarterbacks have, and I feel like it's inherited from quarterback to quarterback, like the Johnny Manziel thing, kind of like, because Baker Mayfield was a cocky asshole in college. There's no denying that, but he was very good. He's very talented. Just the NFL transition, he's good. He wins Browns games, but I don't know.
Do you want to know what I think? I think the problem is for Baker. It's called Odell Beckham Jr. He's better when Odell's not on the field.
Yeah. Well, Landry is going to come back, not this week, but probably the week after.
And Landry is a team-first guy, and he's a guy that quarterbacks love throwing to because he'll risk his body. He run blocks. He does everything you want except stretch the field. So I
he fucked me in fantasy.
Well, that's what you get.
And George Kittle fucked me in fantasy. And Antonio Gibson fucked me in fantasy.
Sucks.
But that's another story.
All right, so next up is your team, Michael. The Washington football team taking on the Green Bay Packers, led by the owner of the Chicago Bears, Aaron Rodgers. I love that shit. That shit was so funny. I like that Rodgers is kind of embracing this heel turn to an extent where he's just like, yeah, you know what? It does really feel like a last dance kind of situation. He's like, I'm not here either way next season, so I'm going to remind everyone I'm that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. So the Packers coming off the win over the Bears, the Washington football team coming off the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. The football team played them tough early on, and some people I know that hate the Chiefs, Taylor, were like, oh, the Chiefs are dumb, they're garbage. And that was when the Washington was up like 13-6. The final score was 34-13. So everyone that thought the Washington was going to put up points, it was going to be a shootout. The Chiefs defense finally showed up in the second half of that game. Regardless, the Packers are 9.5-point favorites at home. Michael, your team, your game.
I'm taking the Aaron Rodgers over the Washington football team.
Yeah.
There was a couple years ago, there was a quarterback named Kirk Cousins, and he says, "You like that? You like that?" And then they played the Packers
And
in
he
the
crushed them.
playoffs, and the Packers smoked them. And I don't like Washington. I hate the Washington Capitals, so I hate the Washington football team.
You hate the city of Washington.
Yeah, Green
But
Bay.
you love politics.
Yeah, I do. Green Bay's gonna roll.
Yeah. Josh.
Green Bay.
Yeah, it's Green Bay. Washington clearly hasn't delivered. They're now involved heavily in the rumors into trading for a quarterback, which I'll get to shortly. But Heineke hasn't played bad.
He's not the answer.
No, he's a tweener guy. Like if he's on a team
Case Keenum.
He's like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, no, honestly, and except Cousins is the second highest paid quarterback in the league.
Yeah, Cousins though does get a lot of shit, but he
gets a lot of shit because he doesn't play well when it matters.
Yeah, he's
point blank period.
He's serviceable.
He is a stat patter fantasy quarterback. He's a guy that you like having on your fantasy team because he's going to throw you 30 touchdowns. He's going to throw for 4,500 yards, but he is not a guy that you can ever count on to be there for you in a big spot. Packers win this one. I don't know about the cover just because it seems like one of those games where Washington's defense finally has to do something. I think Chase Young has like 1 sack this season after a dominant rookie year. All right, next game. This is a really good game. The Kansas City Chiefs coming off the win over the Washington football team, taking on the Tennessee Titans with that Monday night thriller against the Buffalo Bills. I said to you guys, you weren't on the show, Manfred, but I said to Josh, it was like the Titans, if they win this game, is the blueprint for how to play Buffalo this season. And they laid it out. Getting A.J. Brown back went a long way, having Julio Jones back. The defense still couldn't stop a sieve. The Titans have had the worst pass defense in the league. They've given up 1,800 yards passing to wide receivers this year and 10 touchdowns, the most in the league. The Chiefs have, obviously a great passing game. Mahomes is definitely playing a little sloppy with the football right now because he's trying to force to do things. I do think, again, the Chiefs need to go to a 2 tight end set and slow the game down. When your defense is that poor, you can't try to score a touchdown in 3 plays. Now, the Titans have been one of the kryptonites of the Chiefs over the last few years since Mahomes took over because with Derrick Henry, you're capable of keeping Mahomes on the sideline. And Henry is right now on pace for 2,600 rushing yards. If he finishes at the pace he's at right now, he will have the most dominant 2-season stretch in NFL history. I think Josh's batteries died on his headphones. Anyway, I don't know. This one, I've gone back and forth. It was the last game I actually decided on here. I'm going to stick with the Chiefs just because the Titans, I think this is a come-down game. They were underdogs against the Bills. Henry was unbelievable again, over 125 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. But I kind of like the stride that we lost Josh. I kind of like the stride that the Chiefs are starting to hit here. I think it's going to be a close game, though. Mahomes has to be more careful with the football. I know he plays like Superman, but he can't try to be Superman on every single play.
It's kind of like Josh with his headphones,
Yeah, Josh isn't super anything.
So
super
I'm gonna break down
cholesterol.
a little fantasy knowledge. I have Patrick Mahomes for the last 3 years or something like that.
Sure.
And gets me so many points. And this year, I live or die by Patrick Mahomes, really. And I'm always 20 points away, but my position players are always so shit because I don't draft a running back. I don't draft a wide receiver. I always go tight end QB. So I had George Kittle and Patrick Mahomes were my first 2 picks. George Kittle got hurt. Patrick Mahomes had to carry the weight of the team. This week, he's going to show why he is a future Hall of Famer and one of the best in the league. I think that they're going to, like you said, the Titans are going to run the fucking ball down Kansas City's throat.
Yeah.
They're going to game plan for that, but Tannehill looks like shit this year.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help that the offensive line has been up and down. Taylor Lewin losing him in the game does not help at all. He's a all-pro left tackle.
Yeah.
But they also, he looks like shit, but He
They
didn't
don't have their wide receivers are never
yeah,
all
it's like,
healthy.
I mean, AJ Brown is super talented, but he's barely been healthy this year. Julio Jones, never healthy. So you're relying on those things. Then you lost Jonnu Smith. You lost offensive coordinators in back-to-back years in Matt LaFleur, or two of the last 3 years in Matt LaFleur and Arthur Smith going to be the head coach of the Falcons. Now, this is what's so interesting. I mentioned the stat about the Chiefs or the Titans pass defense being so bad, but by the same on the other side of the ball, the Chiefs defense, the rush defense specifically, is awful. So you're going to have a strength of the Chiefs offense going up against the weakness of the Titans defense, and the strength of the Titans offense going up against the weakness of the Chiefs defense. Now, I want to also state the Chiefs defense is a weakness. It's not just the rushing part, but when the game plan is to specifically keep a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, there is no better weapon in football than a running game, and there is no better rushing attack than one led by Derrick Henry. He is an absolute freak of nature. For me, no matter how the season ends, he's already a Hall of Famer just based on what he's done the last 3 years. He's won 3 straight rushing titles. It's Josh, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I don't know. Some shit just got weird with my iPad and the audio cut out.
Make your fucking pick. I don't got all night here, bud.
Yeah. Are you taking the Chiefs or the Titans?
Chiefs.
Okay. All right, Josh.
I only missed one game.
Yeah,
How much were you talking?
I stretched it.
Oh, okay, all
right. Because I'm the last professional podcaster there is. The next game is our two teams, Josh, our two garbage teams. The Atlanta Falcons coming off their bye week, taking on the Miami Dolphins coming off, giving the Jaguars their first win of the season. I feel vindicated from my rant a few years ago about Brian Flores right now. He has been on my hot seat for a little bit. But today, some developments in the trade front. I mentioned Washington is in the market for a quarterback. They're heavily rumored to be trading for Tua Tagovailoa today, while the Dolphins are apparently closing in on Deshaun Watson amid all the scandals. Now, what that means, what the trade deals are, I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to happen. As far as we know, Deshaun Watson can play. He's officially healthy, but inactive, and no one knows why. The league has not said anything. The Falcons are 2.5-point favorites on the road. You said you want to go second, Josh. I'm so embarrassed by Brian Flores right now. I'm actually more disappointed than anything else after what I saw from his first 2 years. With that said, I'm going to continue to just embrace the losing and embrace the culture. I'm going to pick my team until they start winning. I'm doing the opposite now. I'm going to pick them until they win. So I'm going to pick the Dolphins with no real faith. I thought Tua looked really good on Sunday, but the coaching was just horrific in the last 3 possessions of the game. Downright horrific. Flores has to make some changes. He wants to keep his job. So I'm taking the Dolphins. No faith whatsoever. Josh?
I guess it's kind of a toss-up for me, but I don't think either team is really decent right now.
No shit.
What are you guys doing?
I'm massaging.
Deshaun Watson, nice.
I'm massaging I want Deshaun Watson on the Dolphins so bad.
Manfred, that's what your hands were doing when they were sweating at my bachelor party and you put the ice cube in it.
I guess I'm gonna take the Falcons just because I would like to see them win another game.
Dude, that means the Dolphins are gonna win because every time you pick them, they lose.
No, that's not true. I picked them against the Jets.
You picked them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, he had no choice.
Michael.
So I had put some details into some of the picks from last week. I don't know if you read every one of them, but
I read all of them, including your grammar.
Yeah. Okay. Great. The Dolphins. I was doing that in the truck at work in between jobs. So for the Dolphins, I put last week. I said the Dolphins are bad, but they're not getting beat by the Jaguars bad.
But they were.
And that's all I put. That's all I put for the game. I'm going with Atlanta with Matty Ice, baby, and fucking dickhead tight end guy. He's gonna fucking go off again.
Kyle Pitts.
Pitts or whatever. He's good.
Ridley is back this week, and
Matt Ryan's got like another 3 or 4 good weeks in him, and I think this one's going to be a good week.
Then he's done. All right. Next game, the New York Jets coming off their bye week, taking on the New England Patriots. Patriots coming off the Sunday loss to the really exciting loss to the Dallas Cowboys. The Patriots are 6.5-point favorites. And, that game shouldn't have been as exciting as it was because right after Mac Jones throws the pick six, he comes back and throws a 74-yard touchdown that should have been picked off because the guy undercut the route. It was more of a lucky pass than it was anything else. Mac Jones did not have a good game. I don't care what anyone says. They can fluff up how he's looked so far. He's not looked good. Listen, bad offensive line. I'm going to go out on a limb right now. This is going to be a hot take. Bill Belichick is fired at the end of the season. And
Really?
he takes over as the GM of the New York Football Giants. That dead ass. He's going to get fired at the end of the season. I am pretty confident in that. I've watched Belichick pretty much his entire career in New England, probably more than anyone else that we know that isn't a Patriots fan, just seeing him so often throughout the year. This is the worst I've ever seen him coach. I've never seen him coach so conservatively. He has also made horrible personnel decisions. When you think about through the years, bad draft picks, bad free agent signings, bad trades, and now he doesn't have the Band-Aid of the greatest quarterback of all time. And listen, Belichick is still the greatest coach of all time. This isn't even up for debate. There's not a close second to Bill Belichick. But they won't lose to the Jets. The Jets. Zach Wilson stinks. He's going to be seeing ghosts again. He's going to throw 3 picks. Belichick's going to look like a good coach for a week. If they gave Belichick rookie quarterbacks every game, he would go 16-0 every year. So give me the Patriots and give me the 6.5 too. Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Patriots because I still just can't pick the Jets ever.
Big facts.
I'm taking the Patriots because they're staying relevant with these good teams. Like, I mean, Dallas is a fucking powerhouse, and no one expected the game to be that close. So I think that as bad as Bill Belichick is, I think he's gonna fucking destroy the Jets like he normally does.
Yeah, that's a given. Like, literally, he could have a team that wins 2 games all year, and the 2-game wins will be by 30 points against the Jets. All right, next game. The Carolina Panthers coming off the loss to the Vikings, taking on the New York Giants, who puts up forth a real spirited effort against the Los Angeles Rams. They look terrible. Joe Judge looked terrible. The team absolutely quit 15 minutes into the game. Lost stud rookie Kadarius Toney in the first quarter when they already knew he had an ankle injury. The Panthers are 2.5-point favorites on the road. And I'm going to take the New York Football Giants because the Panthers without Christian McCaffrey look lost. Their defense is very good. The Giants also lost Andrew Thomas, who is finally coming into his own as a left tackle. But it's not going to be – I think that they'll be okay because the Panthers don't look good. Sam Darnold looked terrible on Sunday. So give me the Giants here in the upset at home. I wanted to point this stat out. In the last 5 years, the Giants have won 9 home games. And I asked Spooner how many of me he was at as a season ticket holder, and he said 3. I was like, dude, you could have gone to 1 game for the last 5 years, and you could have seen more wins. Like, if you picked the right games, you went to almost every home game, and you saw 3 of them.
Yeah,
that's bad. The worst record in football since 2017. Worse than the Jaguars, worse than the Browns, worse than the Jets.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers because Giants find ways to lose games.
They sure do. I mean, well, last week they lost it in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I'm taking the Giants too.
Okay.
Panthers. Sorry, I didn't mean to say Giants. I don't know why I said that.
Oh, you fucker.
All right. Next game, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals coming off the win over the Lions, and the Ravens crushing Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. I thought the Ravens would win, but to hold Justin Herbert to 6 points, I think I'll get to are the Chargers off this week? No, I can just say it then. I think Herbert is awesome, but I don't. You know when guys have like that winning factor to them? I don't see that in Herbert when it matters most. I've seen too many games where, he needed to come up big and he played decent defenses. 6 points when you're an elite quarterback in the league, I don't care if it's second year, third year, is not acceptable. And to go lose 34-6 in your own building on top, or sorry, they were on the road rather, but put up 6 points as an elite quarterback in this league. That's the kind of game that costs you MVPs and costs your team's playoff games and playoff victories. But the Ravens are a really good team. And the Bengals have played really, really well this year. But this is a big step up for Joey Burrow. Lamar Jackson is playing out of his mind. Even when he's not playing well, he's playing out of his mind. I'm going to take the Ravens here. I wouldn't touch the 6.5 though, because the Bengals are playing with a little swagger. I like it. I like the way they're playing. I think it'll be a tight game, but Lamar Jackson takes over in the second half and comes away with a 4-point victory. Give me the Ravens, and I think the Bengals cover the 6.5. Josh,
I'm going to take the Ravens as well.
good insight, Nifro.
I'm going to take the Ravens. Justin Herbert hasn't looked that bad since the BCS playoff.
No, that's not true, because I watched him play against Brian Flores' Dolphins last year and get outplayed by Tua. So just saying.
No, but the BCS championship.
Oh, he was terrible.
Or the playoff when they played Ohio State, maybe.
Well,
I
I will say the other thing that the Ravens they got buried by all of us coming into the season because of the injuries. J.K. Dobbins, Marcus Peters, it went on and on and on. But
yeah, I had the Bengals defense in fantasy last week, and they got me points. And
yeah, well, they were playing Jared Goof.
I'm not dropping the Bengals defense. I'm keeping them just for the record. But I'm not starting my Bengals defense against the Ravens because I am terrified of Lamar Jackson. And they have like a running back by committee kind of thing with Latavius Murray and some asshole and some asshole and some asshole. And they
Le'Veon Bell
in the end zone.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. Like, they just have asshole after asshole that they can still get it done by committee, and that's why.
Do you want to know what? They can have all the injuries in the world on offense and defense and special teams, but the one thing they always have is one of the top 3 coaches in the league in John Harbaugh. Like, at this point, how do you say he isn't? His team is there every year, no matter what, and it's really impressive. He's one of the few coaches you've seen that will adapt his system to fit his quarterback. Just really impressive. I think the Bengals will play tough, and I think the Bengals are going to begin this till the end because the Steelers ain't great. The Browns have issues with injuries right now as well. Next game, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Las Vegas Raiders. Eagles, they stink. They stink and they suck. They had a spirited game against Tampa Bay on Thursday night last week, while the Raiders rallied around the controversy, rallied around the loss of John Gruden, played maybe their most complete game of the season in the division against the Denver Broncos. The Raiders are 2.5-point favorites. Manfro, I'll let you go first.
I'm going to take the Raiders because I rolled with them last week, just on a whim. I mean, the pieces are there. They could be a great team. They're playing simple football, really, and it's just basically,
Hook it, chug it, football.
Yeah. They break off like 2-3 yards per run, and then
he bombs it
twice, and then throw it when they need to. And Edwards and a couple of the other fucking guys, Hunter Renfrow has that X factor, and I like the way they're playing. The Eagles looked really good against the fucking Bucks, right, last week. Wasn't it? It was 20 the score.
Yes. Okay. This is what I'll say about the Eagles last week. Who are you taking? And then I'll get it.
I'm taking the Raiders.
Okay, Josh, who are you taking?
I am taking the Raiders as well.
Okay, so this is my big issue with the Eagles. They had a really good second half. They ran the ball. How many times do you think they ran the ball, design runs in the first half with a young rookie, a second-year quarterback who is a scrambler? How many times do you think they ran the ball in the first half, the Eagles?
10. Once.
Once. With a guy that you should be running read options, zone reads with, RPOs every single time. You run it once. How is that helping your young quarterback? And then when you finally started to run the ball with a very talented back in Miles Sanders in the second half, then the team started coming back. And then Jalen Hurts started hitting throws. And then he found a rhythm. The key with young quarterbacks is make an offense that can design a rhythm to make them comfortable. And when you give him one designed run with Miles Sanders in the first quarter, he is in no position to succeed. I don't care how bad the Bucs pass defense is. He's faced, and I know the Bucs run defense is very good, but that is unacceptable to do. For that reason, I'll take the Raiders. I do think the Raiders are the better team here, but I was so disgusted with what they're doing to that kid Jalen Hurts because I think he has a world of talent, but you're putting him in a position to fail by doing that kind of offensive game plan against any defense under any circumstance.
I don't know. You lie so much that your mouth is like Michelin tires.
All right. See, you can say it to me.
Well, yes, I can say it to you because if I put it in the context that you're a liar.
No, or are the context that I'm white and there can be no racial undertones to it.
Yeah. You smell like salami, you fucking fat Italian.
Listen, if I smelled like salami, it'd be an upgrade. I fucking shart myself like 4 times a year. You kidding?
That's hot.
All right, next game. Don't think we have to spend too much time on it. This is, believe it or not, this is only the second highest spread of the week. The spread is 15.5. The Detroit Lions at the Los Angeles Rams. The Jared Goof revenge game. Oof, and you see Dan Campbell called out his quarterback too, finally, saying he's got to be better. He called out the rest of the team. But, we've been raving about doing Lions moral victory because they've been playing tough. Rams just took it to the Giants, playing great. Cooper Kupp looks great. Matt Stafford looks great. Aaron Donald's Aaron Donald.
Tyler Higbee, baby.
We're all taking the Rams, right?
Yes.
We have to waste too much time on it? Okay, I didn't think so. Okay, so the next game is the second biggest spread of the week. Or actually, no, sorry, the biggest spread of the week. The Houston Texans at the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. Tyrod Taylor might be back.
Well, I might be changing my pick then.
Yeah, that'll make the spread go from 17.5 to 17. We're all taking the Cardinals, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Third biggest spread of the week. Chicago, who has been playing good under Justin Fields, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 12.5 for Tampa Bay. I don't know about that spread. I'm taking Tampa, but that spread is pretty crazy considering the Bucs defense is not that good. And it's not a primetime game. So you guys want some betting advice. The next time Tom Brady is in a primetime game, pick against him on the spread. He has not covered the spread in, I think, 9 straight postseason games. So just a little betting advice. Whatever the spread is, put it on the other team, put $50 on it. You'll be a fucking winner at this point. Although that means he's due to break it. We're all taking Tampa. Do we have to spend a lot of time on it? Fields makes some nice throws, and then he makes some where you're like, ooh. I think that the coach is still the problem. Defense is good in Chicago, though. But they need to get a new owner because Aaron Rodgers ain't getting it done for him. Tampa, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This game kind of intrigues me just from, I think it'll be a close game standpoint. Sunday night, Indianapolis Colts at the San Francisco 49ers. Colts coming off the win over the Texans. The 49ers are not too good right now. I don't know if it's Trey Lance or if it's Jimmy Garoppolo this weekend. But I'll tell you, Carson Wentz looks pretty nice. He's the mechanics are there. He doesn't look as shaky. Frank Reich is a really, really good coach in this league. I like what he does with offenses. The 49ers are 3.5-point favorites. Michael.
I'm taking the Colts. I like the 49ers a lot better when Garoppolo's behind.
Lance isn't ready yet, but I think he's going to be good. He just ain't ready.
But Garoppolo knows how to hit his outside receivers like Deebo Samuel and Ayuk and all those guys. And when those guys are cooking, they're cooking. But without George Kittle, it takes away a lot of their game. I'm taking the Colts because they have 3 running backs that could be starters for 75% of the teams.
Jonathan Taylor could be a leading receiver in the league out of the slot.
Yeah, but you got Nyheim Hines, who's also a great scat back.
Marlon Mack.
And Marlon Mack, who's a good scrimmage guy. So you got a really good scrimmage guy, you got a really good scat back, and then you got a guy who could do both in Jonathan Taylor.
And, say what we will about Carson Wentz. He was the league leader for MVP until he got injured that Super Bowl year. He was playing great. And if you keep him healthy with Frank Reich, a head coach, I mean, the Colts are because I'm not sold on the Titans yet. I don't care if they just beat the Bills. I'm not sold on them. The Colts could win that division. They definitely could win that division.
Yeah.
So you're taking the Colts. Josh, you're second.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts as well.
You cocksuckers. I thought I was taking like the upset here. And then, man.
So it's like, I like blue and white. I'm taking the Colts.
All right, fuck it. I'm going to take the 49ers. My heart says the Colts are going to win, but the 3.5 points is a lot for a team like the 49ers. They haven't had a coming alive game in a while. So they're due. The Colts coming off playing shitty teams in back-to-back weeks, and the Dolphins and the Texans. and now we'll be facing a better coaching staff and a more talented team in the 49ers. So, yeah, you know what? At home, I'm going to take the 49ers here because I want to fuck you guys. And if I'm wrong, then you'll make up ground on me. We don't have enough different picks. And I don't think it'll be any different on Monday night. It's a 5.5-point spread. The New Orleans Saints coming off their bye week, taking on the Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith. They should have beaten the Steelers. I fucking hated TJ Watt punching guys in the head. I know he was trying to fumble the ball, but it wasn't no Peanut Tillman shit where he came in like that. TJ Watt was coming over the top like this, like just throwing haymakers. The Saints will win. The Seahawks are going to miss the playoffs. Pete Carroll, defensive guru, bad defense. Give me the Saints. Josh.
Yeah, give me the Saints.
Michael.
Mark Callaway is having a fucking super game.
The Undertaker?
Yeah, Mark Callaway.
Are you watching AEW or the Knicks?
They're the Knicks.
Oh, AEW's on Saturday right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so weird because I would watch them if they were on Wednesday. I'd put on two TVs. I'd put the Rangers on if they were playing and AEW, or the Knicks and AEW.
So what are you just DVRing right now?
I haven't watched AEW in like 2 weeks.
Do you miss it, or are you just like, yeah, whatever, I'll catch it?
Well, you see, with hockey and basketball back, it's like, do I miss it? I kind of do. And there's football, it's like in full swing. It's like, I could go without it for a little bit. Like, you know, all the big shit happened, and then they're trying to pump Masvidal and shit. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, Masvidal, I don't know what he's thinking, considering he's got a fight against a very credible opponent coming up.
He could do like a squash match where Jericho hits him with a fucking that spinning fat man's elbow or whatever the fuck it is. Like
I haven't watched any wrestling since.
Josh knows what I'm talking about. The spinning fat man elbow that Chris Jericho does. If he does that right off the bat and knocks out Masvidal, pins him 1, 2, 3, I don't think Dana White's gonna have a problem with it.
Yeah,
like I mean, the squash match.
Dana White's not gonna have a problem with anything that makes him more money.
Yeah,
that's what he'd do.
Dana White's gonna. You wonder if Dana White's like in Dan Lambert's pocket, like.
Well,
I've AEW using my guys.
I've said this, probably, but I've said this a few times. Josh, how long have I been telling you this? And I'm still convinced that Tony Khan and WWE have like backstage dealings where they're kind of like, we'll lead to something at some point. Let's just, you don't talk about the competition as much as these guys do, unless, you kind of have like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of thing. Like we're going to do something.
Right.
In wrestling,
AEW is going to take over WWE.
they might. I mean, if taking over WWE means your ratings are 1.2 million, then you've done it.
Booker T is going to be leading the way.
Booker T is going to be leading the way.
Yep.
Oh, if that's great, he'll get another WrestleMania match where you think he's going to go over with a racial angle just for him to lose, like he did to Triple H.
How about when Vince McMahon was dropping the N-bombs and stuff? That was fucking crazy.
I mean, Vince had some special moments as a character.
With raping Trish Stratus on live TV.
Yeah, you rapist. There's some really good ones with Vince through the years.
So I don't know about you, but I'm super excited for the December 11th UFC card.
Yes, that is
that card.
That is the Kamaru Usman one, or is that that's November 6th, isn't it? Is December 11th is which card?
December 11th is the one with a lot of guys on it fighting that are good.
Okay, hold on. December 11th.
Rose the Thug.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the rematch with Rose. Yeah. I'm going to be in Colorado for the next one, which is the Usman and Covington one. But December 11th, I'm definitely down to do something.
So the December 11th, if I was looking at the card correctly, it has potential main events in the last 7 or 8 fights. Like Dominic Cruz is fighting in the preliminary fucking card.
I wouldn't be against if our next thing and what we do a live reaction stream of the fight card. Like if we just, Josh, I don't know, maybe figure out the semantics of this. We set something up camera, us watching it live, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and doing commentary, and we could get fucked up.
We can pay Clyde to do it.
$3 Venmo.
We can I can make that work.
Okay. Wait, so he Venmo'd you, he sent you a Venmo request for $3 just out of the blue.
Out of nowhere.
Did you decline it, accept it, or just ignore it?
So it doesn't say anything but accept payment. But I couldn't delete it. There was no X
Wait,
on it.
He's trying to pay you?
No. He's trying to request me to give him $3.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to request $3 from him. If he sends it to me, I will then send it to you, and then you send it back to him.
Okay.
So I want to tell one last story. It's nothing to do with football today, but so my neighbor's moving, right? And she got one of those the pods. You've seen them around before, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you've ever seen how they deliver them, but a big ass truck comes and like unloads it. And when they did it, they ripped a telephone line off a utility pole in my backyard that was going to her house, and then I see the wires just laying in my backyard. So I asked her about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I told the pod company." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Why the fuck did you tell the cable company?" Like, it's like and I'm like, so like it's been 2 weeks, and the cable's still there. At this point, I'm like, I know it's not dangerous, but it doesn't look good. Like, and no matter what, whoever moves in here next is gonna have to get it fixed. So I hit up Optimum today, right? And I'm like, listen, like this is what's happening. It's in my yard. Can you send someone out? Like, oh yeah, no problem. It's gonna be we'll schedule for Friday. It's a $300 service charge. It will add to your bill. I said, the fuck it is. Like, first off, don't have a phone line, so don't use it. Second off, even if I did, that is not the phone line going to my house. So I'm flipping out on the guy. I get on the phone with him, and I say, listen, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drive my car into your living room, and then you're gonna pay me to fix it. Like, how does that sound to you?
Yeah,
and
no.
he's like, are you saying are you threatening me? I was like, no, get me on the phone with your manager. I'm making an example. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Like, he's like, well, technically it's an extra service because it's not causing any damage. I'm like, it's a fucking wire in my yard. Like, I said, then this is what I'll do. I'll go up and try and fix it myself. And then if I get hurt, it's liabilities on you. Oh, we're going to send someone on Friday. We're actually going to credit your account for the inconvenience. I'm like, yeah, you are. Thank you.
Yeah.
On top of that, I'm dealing with Macy's. We ordered couches back in July, right, for August delivery. Then they were like, when the August delivery date comes along, they're like, oh, it's back ordered. I'm aware of like the supply chain shit going on. I was expecting it, whatever. They're like coming in end of September now. Then that turned into the end of October, and they already hit us up and like now it's actually November. And now I'm like, I'm fucking pissed. So I've been harassing Macy's like a motherfucker. And I left them voicemails. They don't call back. Like, we spent like $2,500 on these fucking couches. And they're not returning my calls. So I just been belligerently harassing them on Twitter. Like, just annoying.
You paid for it already?
Yeah, you paid for it. Like, it's not the salesperson's fault. Like, they're not going to tell the salesperson, like, tell customers that they're not going to get their shit till November because you're not going to get a sale. And my other thought is, like, I bought the fucking warranty on it. I'm like, does the warranty kick in when I get the couch or to kick in from the time of purchase? Because if it kicked in from the time of purchase, I'm taking a shit on it as soon as I get it to get a brand new couch back. And so I'm like, this couch came with duty, dude. And so then finally today they were like, well, we haven't returned your call because the order is in your wife's name. I'm like, yeah, are you fucking kidding me? They call her stupid. I was like, I'm done with this. Like, you're not going to like what happens next. It's literally my exact words to them. So then landlord calls me up. She's like out on her, like her run. And she's like, Macy's just called me. What did you say to them? They're refunding us like 40% of the order. It still won't come to November. I'm like, that's all I wanted. I was like, I'm cool waiting, but I'm not paying the original price because this is bullshit. Yeah, I don't fuck around with customer service. I am a belligerent cunt. Josh only gets belligerent customer service when he doesn't get his iPhone on time, and the non-Apple jerk off gets his iPhone before he does.
Yeah.
Do you remember that whole day you were so mad, Josh? You wouldn't even look at the new iPhone.
No.
Well, I got it. So
we saw James Bond last night, the new one, and there's a part where they inject them with something called like smart blood, and I was like, oh man, if it was eye blood, Josh would be in line. Like, transfusion me.
Shut up.
The vaccine sponsored by iPod.
He got the Apple vaccine. He's like, give me 4 boosters. I'll pre-order the next one too.
It makes phone calls like this. Hello?
Yeah, his hand just goes up. He doesn't even need he just texts like this.
That would be fucking sweet.
Dude.
Yo, wait, real quick. You guys both watch Squid Games?
Yeah, of course.
That was fucking great.
Did you watch the whole thing, Josh?
Yeah, I finished it this morning.
Yes.
Okay. Episode 6 was one of my favorite episodes of TV I've seen. The marble episode was unbelievable.
Yeah. I knew it. I told Sam. I was as soon as he walked around the corner, I was like, he ain't dead.
Dude,
like, what? And then when they showed the guy with the fucking mask, I was like, "That's old man." No way.
It was fucking great, man. I was I always think with Netflix when a show gets a lot of hype, very rarely do I feel like it lives up to the hype. There's some really good ones where the hype kind of matches it. We know Manfro loves the kids from Stranger Things. So then with Squid Game, the hype was crazy. I'm like, how good could it be? And the first episode, I liked the first half hour, but I was like, eh. And then when the first game starts at red light, green light, I was all in. I'm like, yeah, let's go. The fucking the glass panels that they had to run across. There was a few. The tug of war, I had anxiety like through the fucking roof. I'm like,
yeah,
this is dope. And I have so many jerk offs. Like, I couldn't get into it. It was like, did you do subtitles or dub? They're like dub. I'm like, there you go.
I did dub.
You did dub, really? I
Yeah,
can't do dub. I can't because I just think Godzilla the whole time.
Yeah, no, I did dub and I enjoyed it. And then like I talked to people who read it, they're like, "Oh man, I hated all that reading." I was like, "Why don't you just do it dub?" They're like, "How the fuck do you do that?" I was like, "If I can figure it out, then anybody can." Because we watched it in Korean in the beginning. The subtitles were in Korean, so it didn't help me out at all. And it was just like, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching here?" But I had to ask my friend Alan, who's Korean. I was like, "So did you watch it with subtitles?" And he's like, "What do you mean? It doesn't have subtitles." He's like, "I'm Korean. I understood everything." And I was fucking dying. And he's gonna see you later, Dan.
I'm back.
But he's gonna do a thing at his bar, G's, the Banks Tavern in Warwick, where everybody's gonna do the cookie. Because he says he has those cookies and he can make those patterns in them.
Oh, the honeycomb?
Yeah.
I saw a honeycomb picture.
And we're gonna do it at the bar, and he says for Halloween he's probably gonna dress up with the jumpsuit.
Dude, I saw a meme of the honeycomb, but it was the guy the meme from Quarantine, the dude with the gigantic black cock, Wood. It was he had to cut that out. Yeah, I was like, dude, that one I was like, it was so funny because you hated the gangster dude, like he was the worst motherfucker. Then it turns out that the worst motherfucker was his friend. So I was like, the character arc was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. And
all the memes, I was seeing the memes before I actually completed the show, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I was seeing the masks that the guys were wearing. There were some things that I was like the cop, the whole, the copying the brother thing, like that didn't really go anywhere. Like it went somewhere, but was there any point to it kind of thing? But it didn't diminish from it at all. But yeah. All right, guys. This was week 7 of our picks. We'll be back next week with week 8. Let's see if Josh can make a comeback at a third, and let's see if Manfro can get on top of me again.
Yeah.
All right, bye guys. Later.